The secrets of every lover's story, as you've never heard it before, the trap of beginnings, and the laughter of fate. I always stood aloof, observing the stories of lovers around me like someone watching an old movie. I heard about sleepless nights, about melting hearts, and about sad endings, and I would smile smugly, thinking my heart was immune to this kind of conventional tale. Little did I know that I was preparing myself for a place at the forefront of the narrative, that I would transform from a mere reader into the very story being told. It all began with a laugh. It wasn't just a movement of the lips, but an explosion of light in my life. At the beginning of our journey, the ground beneath our feet seemed to belong to us alone. I remember how we walked among the trees, seeing them not as mere firewood and leaves, but as records of our eternity. With hands trembling with joy, I carved our initials and drew a heart around them, as if I were engraving a peace treaty with time. Thinking, I knew the trees would grow, and our dreams would grow with them, safe and sound. We were in love, melting into the details of the moment, staying up late whispering to the stars, which we thought bore witness to our uniqueness. It never occurred to me that this melting was, in reality, the fading of my being, and that the sleepless nights were nothing but a long rehearsal for the nights of solitude to come. And then, suddenly, without warning, we reached the end of the road. What a painful difference between the laughter at the beginning and the tears at the end. I stood there, gazing at the wreckage of my dreams, and asked bitterly, "Do you see? My love, how did those grand aspirations we built above the clouds turn into a mere trifle in the hands of fate? How could time manipulate us so easily?" In that moment, I found myself joining that long caravan of the lost. I melted away as they did, placed on paths I hadn't chosen. Love wept in my eyes, not only for the separation, but also for the soul that believed the world wouldn't laugh at it. It was time is indeed laughing heartily at the naivete of a woman who thought her love was stronger than fate. Falling from the clouds, days passed, then years, and I remained a prisoner of that rosy dream. We didn't walk on the earth like other people. The dream carried us far away, above the clouds, where the air was pure, untouched by the breath of suffering. We were building an ideal world, painting its boundaries with the colors of joy, and naively deciding that our world would never know tears, never be accompanied by pain. We were like children who think they can grasp the sun with their hands. Our days passed like the most beautiful note in the most wonderful love song ever written. Our hearts didn't beat with fear or caution, but rather played a confident rhythm that feared no blame and knew no weakness. We became so arrogant in our love that when we saw a lover weeping in a distant corner, we would stand in astonishment, coldly pitying them and saying to ourselves, why all this sadness? What more could lovers want from this world than what we already possess? We didn't realize that we were mocking the mirror of our future. But what a bitter discovery. So, world, you were as treacherous as ever, hiding behind a mask of rosy promises only to pounce on us the moment we reached the clouds. If only you had never taught us about love. If only we had remained strangers to this feeling that disarms a person before they even lay down their weapons in battle. In a single moment, the clouds evaporated, and we found ourselves plummeting from the heights to the depths of despair. We returned to melt away once more, along with those who had melted away before us. But this time with double the bitterness of those who knew paradise and then tasted hell. The love that once shone in our eyes with hope is now the very thing that weeps in our tear ducts, while the echo of time's laughter reverberates in every corner. Mocking that woman who once thought she possessed the world with the magic of love. The company of nights and fate. I rewind the tape of my life and smile bitterly. In times past, I was the one who sat in the audience, indifferently humming songs of parting that told of lovers whom the years had turned against and the days had hardened. I sang to them as if I were singing from another planet, thinking I was safe from those storms. But time turned its wheel, the roles reversed, and today I am the subject of stories. No singer sings of pain without borrowing their words from the beating of my heart, and no one speaks of the anguish of lovers without my image appearing before the eyes of the listeners. Oh, my old memories. I was once a woman whose time was filled with joy and certainty. My hopes rose in my mornings and set in my evenings without fear. I never knew confusion, and longing never dared to melt my pride. I thought I was a queen on the throne of my own soul. But now, the nights and I have become companions on this journey. Loneliness no longer frightens me. It has taken up residence within me. We became like best friends. The nights that once bore witness to my dreams now weep for me, while I sit in solemn silence, directing my questions into the distance about the one who vanished like a mirage. I ask and ask again, why? How? Where? But only the echo answers me. No reply soothes my heart. No answer extinguishes my burning pain. Finally, I stood before the mirror and realized the stark truth. I don't know why I loved you with such fervor. Nor do I know why we ended up in this desolate separation. All I know, and all I've surrendered to with the dignity of strength, is that the fate of lovers is not in their hands. It's a tattoo etched upon our foreheads before we are born, a roadmap drawn by destiny without our consultation. I was lost with those who were lost. I melted away as they melted away, and love wept in my eyes for a long time. But today, despite the laughter of time upon me, I stand tall with my story. For the story did not end with separation, rather, it began. The moment I decided to accept fate and move on, carrying in my heart the essence of every lover's story. He departed physically, but his voice remains, healing hearts. This story is a tribute to the soul of the Prince of Arab Song, the artist Hani Shaker. We drew inspiration from the lyrics of his timeless song, The Story of Every Lover. We dedicate this work to his fragrant memory and to his fans who loved him and lived the most beautiful moments with his voice. Until we meet again in a new story from a song. This was at Warwick Castle 1. The Story of Every Lover. A tale from Hani Shaker's song The Secrets of The Story of Every Lover, as you've never heard them before. Farewell, Prince of Song. Hani Shaker, The Story of Every Lover, was more than just a song. It was a code of emotions, crafted by the Prince of Arab Song, the esteemed artist Hani Shaker, with his melodious voice. In this video, we move from simply hearing the lyrics to experiencing the story in all its details. We tell you, from a woman's perspective. A journey that begins with laughter above the clouds and ends with a tear on the brow. How do dreams become a game in the hands of fate? And how does pain become the only companion on long nights? This work is a tribute to the soul of the late artist Hani Shaker, and a commemoration of one of his most beautiful works, which will remain etched in our hearts. Listen to the story and experience the true meaning of every note. In this video, lyrics of the song. The story of every lover, the story of every lover, is your story, my heart, and you remained. And you remained the story. The story of every lover, we love and melt, we stay up all night and we part in the end. The beginning of our journey was a smile that lived on our lips. Drawing two hearts and writing two letters on the trees. The end of our journey is a tear that says to love, see. How our dreams become a game in the hands of fate. And we get lost with those who got lost, and we melt like those who melted. Love cries in our eyes, the days laugh at us. Days and years. My heart, we dream, and the dream carries us above the clouds, above the clouds. Days and years, we draw a world that doesn't know tears, doesn't keep company with suffering. Doesn't keep company with suffering. Our days were sweet, sweeter than any song ever sung about love. Our heartbeats didn't say we melted from love, nor did they fear blame. If we saw a lover weeps, and we weep for him, oh, and we say, what do lovers want from this world? Oh world, you were treacherous, just as you always were. You were, and I wish you hadn't taught us love. And we get lost with those who get lost, and we melt away like those who melt away. Love weeps in our eyes, the days laugh at us. I used to sing about a lover before me, whom the years have turned against. Now there's no singer who doesn't tell about me to people and lovers, to people and lovers. I was, and my time was full of joy and hopes. I was, and my time was full of joy and hopes. I never knew confusion, nor did longing melt me. Now I and the nights live like friends. The days weep for me, and I ask about the one who's gone. I haven't found an answer to my question, nor does the answer come to me. I haven't found an answer to my question, nor does the answer come to me. I don't know why I loved you, nor do I know why I left you, but the fate of lovers is written on the forehead. And we get lost with those who we are lost and melt away like those who have melted away. Love weeps in our eyes, and time laughs at us, transforming the lyrics of Every Lover's Tale into a dramatic narrative, a different perspective on the stages of love, separation, and strength. A special dedication to the soul of the Prince of Arab Song. A story from a song with Wali Castle 1. If you enjoyed the story, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and activate the bell to receive all our new stories inspired by the most beautiful songs.